Welcome to this reading to cut bullshit. And this is not to shame any bullshit you might be telling yourself. The bullshit that we are sometimes entangled within is actually also part of our inner intelligence. It might be there to save us from something. It might, just make us feel better about ourselves, which is like always a good idea to feel good about yourself because you only have yourself to experience life, so rather feel good about it. This is just to go like a little bit deeper and probably dismantle some stuff you've been telling yourself, some stuff you might have projected onto others. I mean, we are always projecting, so don't get me wrong here, but the idea is to kind of see underneath. Like probably all of my readings will have this energy of like offering bridges to kind of enter into a deeper transparency within yourself, a deeper like honesty with what you're feeling. But is it dishonest if we can't actually access it like consciously? I don't think so. So yeah, that's why I like the term transparency even more. So you can imagine it like a pool of water, and the calmer the water gets, the deeper you can see, because then all the sediment kind of can like sink, and then the way you can look into the water, or the depth to which you can look, is actually deepening. So this is kind of what I'm offering here. Just to begin with, it's the cut the bullshit. Like, it's a bit like lovingly call yourself out on your own bullshit. So what are you avoiding right now? What are you not wanting to see? And where are you projecting stuff that actually has got to do with yourself? And you might be new to readings like this. If you are, I feel very honored that you trust me with that and are with me in this reading. Anyway, I want to explain briefly how it works. So we have 3 different piles here. So I'm going to give 3 different readings, and you maybe already felt that you're drawn to one of those piles. So we have the red pile, the yellow pile, and the blue pile. And you're going to decide for one pile intuitively. There's no wrong choice here. Just trust this inner nudge, this hunch that you already might have felt. And you can skip through that reading. I will mark it in the video so that you can just access the information that wanted to come through for you. All right. I'm not sure if I said everything that I wanted to say to begin with. It might end up in the text below, or I might just forget it completely. I don't care. I don't mind. I'm doing my best here. So bear with me. And thank you for your patience. So we're going to begin with the red pile. So I'm going to move those away for later. And this is the red pile. And I'll grab my tarot deck. Okay, here I was thinking that I prepared everything, and then I was like, where's the tarot deck? So we're going to begin with some tarot cards, and then we'll add those special, specific other oracle cards and see what we got. So where are you invited to cut some bullshit? Pile red. Okay. It's that fine. So yeah, you can always go with whatever it like brings up within yourself. This is the reminder for this approach of how to receive those readings, which is also like in a more detailed way in the intro video. And so whatever I say, like always feel into what it brings up within you. So what does it bring up within yourself that this card shows? You can just, you don't have to have a knowledge of the tarot. You just see what emotions come up here. And this is from where you can go. And also, it might trigger some emotions that the card fell, and I was beginning to laugh. So which reactions are you having here? And so now to enter into the content part, it's the Five of Cups. You can see 3 cups lying here, 2 cups standing there. And the person, I feel, is kind of looking at those cups who have fallen over while he or she doesn't, or them don't like actually realize that there are 2 cups standing here. And so another important visual here is the bridge, I feel, because it feels like this world is rather like the inner world. And this is probably even like rather the outer world with the city and all. It might be that you are in a victim state, that you are more focused on what's lost and what you don't have this at this point of time, while actually you are kind of neglecting what there is. So where are you, red pile? Where are you currently blaming outer circumstances? Where are you blaming a lack of skill, a lack of capacity? Where are you, really feeling like you are helpless? And where are you probably rather in a situation where you are like feeling disempowered, feeling isolated because of the victim state, because of feeling probably ashamed. So again, the foundation is love. So yeah, I just wanted to invite this quality in again. So let's see what else do we got. Okay, here's something falling. Okay, so we've got the Magician, and we've got the 8 of Pentacles. So these cards are accompanying this. So in the beginning you were like in this victim state, and now those cards, and you can see the pentacles in both of them. So the cups are like emotions, the pentacles is like the energy of what you're actually doing, the way your soul interacts with the outer world. So it's like the soul being the interface of your inner and outer reality, and then the pentacles are kind of the output, what you put out there. And again, here we see, so all of those cards, there's no other person. And again, here we see the person is inside, and outside there's the city. And the person in the picture is tasked with drawing those pentacles. So she's kind of in this inner process. So the bullshit story around this might be to be stressed and to have to do a lot, like finishing all those projects and stuff like that. And the question is this really true? Because our mind might often tell us something about what we need to do, like being busy and stuff, while actually it's not. It's we can do that, we can busy ourselves, but then again, the victim mode, is it true that you really need to do all of this at this point of time? So how do you relate to time? Why is something within you suggesting that all of this is so urgent and that you aren't free to go outside to the park and enjoy nature? And so the bullshit story might also be that, or what comes up, what kind of is under the surface of the bullshit is that you're actually here to bridge those worlds. So we have these inner and outer worlds, the upper and the lower world, in all of these 3 cards. So underneath the bullshit, there is the invitation to kind of see how, just in this very moment, can you be honest with yourself and like communicate this and interact with the outer world and bring this into the outer world. So with the Magician, which is like number 1, it's like a fresh start, or probably this next step, which is like a new beginning. It's like a new, as if you were going into the next story. Like, it's, you've been in the ground floor and now you're moving up, something like that. And with the Magician, we have like all elements here. Like we have the pentacles, which I already explained, the cups I already mentioned. Then we have the air. It's like the way you think, the way, like all the internal chatter that goes on between you two ears. And then we have the wands, which is action. And we clearly have this up and down connection, while here we have the inner and the outer. So I'm getting a lot of like, not blaming, not projecting to the outer world, but rather seeing that both of these worlds and how you interact is full of information for yourself. So see if there is another card that wants to come through as an additional impulse on this story. And we have the Seven of Cups, so a lot of cups here. And with the Seven of Cups, you can see that there are all those different options, and like the woman in this picture is looking up there. So actually, once you have stopped to focus on what's not present right now, you might see all those possibilities, all those options, and all these energies are part of your imagination, part of your fantasy, part of what you can achieve if you feel like achieving. It's kind of an invitation to play with all that you got, with all those different options, and know that you are not forced to focus here. Like here, there's the focus on everything that's not there, and here you see everything that could be there, and you are the one creating it. You are the one bringing it from the imaginary field to the manifest world. And yeah, so we've got an archetype here, the mask. Oh wow, this is very like for me, this feels very relevant to reading on cutting the bullshit, because you might have been masking as this victim in order not to be disappointed once you are in this stage. So that like even within yourself, you're masking something. You may be masking the way you relate to your desires. And you might be masking, maybe there's some mask that's being shed right now, and therefore you are like in this retreated phase where you are like the world is outside, but you are shedding skin in the inside, and maybe you are about to let go of the mask also when you go outside. So see what else do we got. It's one of my absolute favorite decks. Okay, again, like here we have the Heaven's Gate. And for me, I feel like there's this connection between those two cards, because there's this dark and there's this light and there's like this portal. And I feel this portal energy is very much in the Five of Cups here, where like don't like cut the bullshit of telling you that you're stuck in your emotions. You're stuck in your focus. You're not stuck in your emotions. So what actually happens in this card is that the cups that have dropped over, they're actually giving all that there was inside of them back into the ocean. So maybe it's time to let go of those emotions, or like trusting that you don't have to sacrifice those emotions. They don't like you don't have to actively like it's not that you're not allowed to never feel them again, because they are like everything is there. You can just go there and feel that again. The water is right there. You can always dip your toe in. But also like there's all these new emotions that want to be felt. So a gate, a portal, it's something where you make this step, what I already had with the next floor, going to the next floor, through the Heaven's Gate, after becoming aware of the mask, because this becoming aware is so important. So maybe there's some bullshit around the necessity for the mask. Yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. Wow, okay. Here, I already love that so much. So we have a clear no here. And I feel, yeah, of course, it's always like people pleaser have a tendency to forget to say no and stuff like that. But with this energy, and also we have the stairs here. We have the energy of going to the next floor, even in this card. So what brings you to the next floor is saying no. It says wait, postpone, pause, say no. So yeah, you can like take your time with shedding, with letting go of the mask. There's no rush, there's no urgency. You move whenever you're ready. The next floor awaits you whenever you're ready. And you see there's a lot of light going on in the next floor. It might be the lightning that, like, the struck by lightning is when a revelation comes, when you suddenly become aware of something, which also kind of relates to the magician. And it all begins with this no. And I feel like it's the no to the bullshit story. It's the no to focusing on what's not there right now. It's the no to staying in the disempowered energy of the victim, because you are the creator. It's through you that all of this can be realized. And then what might help you there is, okay, so this is German deck. And I still wanted to include it. It says relaxation. You can just sense into the beauty of relaxation. So the no and the relaxation is connected. So it's important for you to take out the urgency, take out the rush. Sometimes when you like listen to a reading like that, you might be in the state of like, what should I do? Because you want to move out, you want to cut the bullshit and all. And the invitation, what you could do is to just sit back, let it sink in. Yeah, let's see what else we got. Okay, and then the energy will come back. So it's about your own energies, which you recharge once you're in relaxation. And then we have the South Node, and it says, "Don't let your past hold you back." So I feel this is very much connected to this one. So it's about, it might have been the route you've taken. So you felt ashamed, you felt something was lost, you felt trapped in your emotions, and then you put on the mask to go out into the world before you were ready. And you kind of avoided, you kind of tried to cope, but actually you weren't really feeling the feelings. You weren't really connecting to what you crave. And this has been the past you. And now you move to the next floor where the magical you can go out, which connects the floors, which connects the world, and which connects the inner and the outer world as well. So you're allowed to say no also with regards to the outside world. And then, wow, this is from the Mother Mary Oracle, and it says the Lady of Sacred Water. And I feel like relaxation, and here also we kind of have an allegory to the water. Here's the water. So feeling those emotions is sacred. It's a sacred business. And this card is here with the message how supported you are, that you don't need to feel alone, even if you are saying no to the outer world right now more than you're used to, which doesn't mean that there's too much of an isolation or anything, because with the water is connected to the ocean all the time. So the river eventually ends up in the ocean. So there's no separation, even if you're like more in a retreated situation right now, more connected to your own processes right now. And Our Lady of the Sacred Water gives her blessing so that you take this rest to recharge your energy and then move forward in this new version that's grown. Yes. So I'll put that here. Let the message sink in. Remember, again, there was now a lot of content. So which messages felt specifically resonant? Where did you feel like some resistance? Where was probably some inner judgment that came up? Does it feel scary to you to say no? Does it feel scary to you to desire to have dreams? Was there a resistance about the mask probably, or about your own magical energies? So yeah, that's it for the red pile. And I'm going to move to the yellow pile right now. Hey, welcome, pile yellow, second reading. So first of all, let's see what is at the center. Okay, we have a jumper. What is at the center of your bullshit story? Oh, again, we have a cups energy. So this is the Four of Cups. And the bullshit story, or what might like be um, holding you back here, is this attitude of spite. Like, as if you were feeling that everything that is going on in your life was kind of against you. So now there's even more pain. Now there's even more problems. Now there's even more difficult situations. And I feel like this is the bullshit story that you're telling yourself, which also is kind of a victim attitude. So yeah, what we are cutting, like the bullshit we are cutting, is actually the bullshit around being like at the mercy of the universe, while actually you're part of the story. So instead of like stuff being happening against you, and you're like, no, I don't want to take it. What actually is happening is that this invitation is for you to deepen the experience of being human that you're actually making right now, and how your soul is actually, your soul signed up for feeling all of this. And I know that it's sometimes it sounds like a very stupid and superficial thing to like, it's good for something, there's a silver lining, and you're like, yeah, you want to, like, if you're in this stage, you are like, cut the bullshit, don't like spare me with those spiritual comments. While actually there's this deeper truth to it, because like here is this wall which might feel constricting and which might feel like narrowing you, while here is like all the possibilities. It's like yeah, there's like, there are new horizons to be experienced. There's like a new experience awaiting you. So just by knowing those feelings and how you dealt with that doesn't mean that the same will happen here. So the bullshit story might keep you in the loop, might keep you in those constricting walls, instead of like going and making this new experience. And also on the on her shirt it says over it, and so it feels like, yeah, I'm over it, while actually you're not. So this might be a second aspect here, that you're suggesting yourself that something with what you've felt emotion wise is actually, your mind is telling you you're over it and you dealt with it, but what are you truly feeling? Like, she's crossing her arms here, so she's like kind of closing in the heart. And this is something that happens often, that we, yeah, that we close off our feeling at some point, because we might feel that now it's done, and we need to be ready at some point. While actually, like this, she can't take the new experience. By telling herself she's over it while she's actually still very much in it, she's still closed off. Like she closes off herself to new experiences. Okay. See how the story continues, how it unfolds. Okay, so the reason why you might not be wanting to take this additional cup is probably a fear of getting hurt, a fear of, yeah, having to face sorrow and pain. And okay, so this is like very deep stuff about dualism and letting go of that. So the fear that here, the fear of pain in the physical world, it absolutely makes sense to be afraid of pain. In our emotional world, it actually sort of doesn't, to a certain degree, which means that actually, as I already mentioned, our soul is here to make the experience of being alive and making all those experiences and feeling all those emotions. And then there comes the human mind. So its energy is the mind energy, and also you were drawn to the yellow one, which I charged with the energy of the air, which also is mind energy, mental energy. So our mind creates this duality of like pleasant experiences and unpleasant experiences. And I know that it feels like that as while we're going through there. Of course, there's like joy is more pleasant than sorrow and grief. This is just how we are used to feel those feelings. But actually, there is an opening. I'm not lying to you, and I wouldn't say it if I didn't have my own experiences in this realm. So there's another stage you can be in, which is completely opening up and then receiving. I don't know. There are just no real words with which I can describe what I'm sensing there, which is kind of an opening to enjoy to a certain degree, not in a kinky way, even though if that's what you're into, go ahead. But to enjoy the experience for itself. So it's not about I'm grateful for like this pleasant experience and I don't like the other ones. It's rather about I'm grateful for the experience because I'm grateful to be experiencing something. I'm grateful to feel alive because once you really connect with your heart, you feel more alive than anything. This energy with closing off the heart and mentally saying I'm over it to kind of avoid the pain is actually cutting you off from your own life force energy, from your own vitality, from seeing all the possibilities. So again, here you can see the clouds are narrowing in, while actually behind the clouds where the heart is, everything is open. And we see so here the hand kind of came out of the clouds. So the clouds are kind of offering the invitation to really open the heart. Yeah. To let those feelings in. And then whatever wants to be, what she wanted to get over with, or what she wanted to kind of leave behind and like step from the narrow energy into the energy of like this opening is actually like this. The phrase comes to mind, the only way out is always through. And as long as she doesn't admit to herself that she's somewhere stuck in something, she won't start seeking for a way to move. So this is a lot about acceptance, and the self-honesty here probably wants to be directed towards some inner state that still hasn't been fully acknowledged because you're afraid that it will hurt too much. Yep, continues. Okay, I'm really like, yeah, it happens all the time that the cards are so, yeah, that cards don't lie, but every time I experience it, it's like, what? So yeah, here you can see a lot of mental stuff that she created to now feel kind of trapped while her feet are still in the water. And she could actually just leave, but her mind, her thoughts suggest she can't, and she's to me it feels like this card symbols the fear of getting hurt, so that she doesn't really connect to feeling it because she's afraid she can't deal with the pain. And it might be that in the past there were experiences where she got overwhelmed with her feelings, and now the bullshit story is I can't take it, while actually you can. And you're invited to do so. You like no pressure at all, but you totally have it in you. And then here comes the Hanged One, which is the energy of, for me, it's like, I mean, if I turn it around, so she kind of, or they kind of are in a upright position so that you can see the face is really relaxed. With the Hanged One, you could imagine, okay, it's probably painful or some stress or whatever. But actually, they're super relaxed, and they're like the head is super light. There's this like light, almost like a crown around the head, and the position is very casual. So there's no stress in being in this position. It's here you see that she's like all tied up, and here she's still tied up, but like the facial expression is kind of relaxed, And so again, it takes out all suggestions of urgency or needing to do something, needing to prove something. It's just this inner shift from avoidance into acceptance and surrender that will open up something. And now you can see that, like, because of course, like, here's no movement neither. Like, there is a rope around the foot, so there is no moving away from that tree now. But also, what it offers you to kind of stay in it for a bit is that you can, like, what happens here is taking on a completely new perspective. So, like, imagine what would happen if, like, she just got up and probably went into a handstand. The cup would look totally different to her. And so there might be the invitation to kind of revisit those experiences. And by revisiting them in a new angle, there might come the openness to really feel it. And then this becomes kind of a redemption story, or like an inner redemption. That's what I wanted to say. Okay, so let's see which archetype is here. The gem. So the experience that we will find ourselves in when, like, pile yellow, when we kind of navigate our feelings in a different way, is because I feel with swords energy, which we have a lot here, I feel like this surrounding is kind of connected. The swords are good or bad. Like, our thinking mind tends to go into this energy of, like, duality, and so the thinking mind is, like, narrowing it down to pleasant and unpleasant experiences, while actually we might just open up to experience whatever we want to experience, and then find the color within. Like, in the midst of all this thinking, duality, good, bad thing, in the midst of it, there's the gem. They're all information, they're all colors. And this is what I feel like the card actually kind of looks the same. So it's opening up. If you let your heart be open, this is the energy that you get to let in. And then here we have the saint. And I feel this is connected to this energy, because you can see this is kind of repeating itself. So the attitude of the hanged one could be like just sitting in whatever surface is, and look how calm this individual is, and surrounded by all the colors, and kind of it feels kind of connected to the chakras as well. Like, everything is open, everything is aligned. And this happens by not wanting to flee the moment, not wanting to escape it, not wanting also to avoid it. So the importance, I feel, is really about opening up to, like, with this, I already mentioned it, like, cut the bullshit of telling you there's nothing to be dealt with, nothing to feel. And then something will shift and something will open up. Okay, here we have the message, don't dim to fit in. And so the reason why you are closed off to this new experience might be that you don't, because here again, we only have, like, very lonely energy. So there might be, maybe by feeling all of your feelings, you feel like you are taking up too much space, taking up too much time. And so probably this avoidance of taking on even more might be connected to the wish to connect. So probably you're kind of afraid to get into connection again, to kind of probably even let others know how you're feeling, because you feel like the weird one. Because this perspective you are probably even about to take on is probably so weird that there's a part within you that let the bullshit story here might be that you're telling yourself if you are like feeling, if you are letting go of duality in your inner experience, it might make you so weird that there is no way to connect with others. And this is a bullshit story. So, woohoo! Okay, those are very special energies. So this is called the priestess, which might be connected to this. So, and then we have the saint here. So it's like really, really, by owning what you're going through, there are really big shifts to be made. And this one is called Earth. So you're called to ground those energies. You're called to really, because sometimes we or especially in the spiritual bubble, we have this tendency of like, and this might also be the over it might even come from a spiritual bypassing attitude. And you are called to let the experience really ground you, to really, instead of transcendence, rather immanence, to really go into the experience, which means into this heart crushing sensation. And this is what breaks your heart open, where you find the gem. This is interesting. We are just in Sagittarius season, and there is the full moon in Sagittarius, which invites you to look at the bigger picture. So the full moon in Sagittarius was in Gemini season, obviously, so about half a year ago. So you might want to reflect on the past half year and maybe the situations that were coming back to you here, like probably situations where you felt that similar emotions were triggered. And so this might help you change perspective. So what is that which you're currently going through or which you are avoiding to go through, and like opening up to others and also showing you as you are? How is this connected to a bigger picture here? Like, what are the actual messages? As soon as you cut the bullshit off, there's no actual message. Whenever you are ready, you will allow yourself to let it in, let those sensations in, let this transformation happen without the need to be afraid that you will turn out being alone on the other side. You always have this friend. Just kidding. Okay, so again, some watery energy with the ocean. This is Our Lady of the Ocean of Rebirth. So and rebirth and the earth, I feel, is very connected. So this energy that you are currently probably avoiding because you are like, I can't deal with it, I'm not capable of it, I'm in this loop of telling me that I will fail again just as I felt before, is kind of keeping you from this new experience and this new perspective with those new energies that are there, which lead to the rebirth. And you're invited to experience it. So it's a rebirth of the mind, and find the gem of your heart. This is what I'm getting for the yellow pile. I hope it was of service. I'm curious to hear from you. And you are invited to look at the bigger picture. So again, there's this invitation to check in with yourself to see how all those messages landed with you. Were there specific ones where you felt a lot of resistance? Were there specific ones where a lot of emotion came up? Wherever you feel called, wherever you felt called out, be reminded of the fact that the foundation of all these messages and all the suggestions for you as well are based on love. So, yeah, the reason why you're watching this reading and why you're looking into yourself is not to find stuff to be judgmental about, but rather to find stuff to let love flow in. This is it for the yellow pile. Okay, so let's jump to the third pile, the blue pile. Welcome, pile blue. Let's see what we got. What's your bullshit story, and where do you want to let love sink in so you can fully be honest with yourself and fully own where you're at and what's going on inside of you and outside of you. Okay, so this We already have that in pile yellow. So this is your bullshit story. So it's gonna probably be quite similar to the second one, but let's see what the flavor is of this specific specific bullshit story. Sorry about the words. Okay. So here we have a lot of expectations towards yourself. It feels as if you want to be in control, and you want to be in control of your feelings, your inner world. You want to be in control of. It feels like a very controlled approach to feeling. Like king energy and sword energy is both kind of like mental. There's structure, there's clarity, and so emotions is kind of confusing. And the bullshit story might be that you lose control once you allow yourself to feel. Let's see what else is there for you. Pile number 3, which is actually what I call the water pile. So yeah, you probably were drawn to the water because there is a need to balance out all the air energy of the swords. Okay, so what's happening here is that there, like as well, there's a similar to pile number 1, there's a shedding here, and with this is the Chariot, and if you are familiar with the tarot, I like Rachel Pollack's approach of seeing the major arcana in 3 lines. So this is the end of the first line, which means that there has been a personal development where you have kind of achieved a certain status, achieved a certain position, and now there's the invitation to kind of screw it. And so the bullshit story here might be around identifications of who you think you are, which kind of might keep you trapped in that state while actually you're about to move beyond. So see how here it's actually a wand, while here it's a sword. So the sword energy is mental, it's thinking, it's communication, it's thought. And this one feels very linear because sword energy, as like being connected to the mind, feels like a linear energy. And here we have a wand, like not a wand, it's like it's a wand. It's a magical wand, like the one Harry Potter uses. And so while here there were like this energy was so linear, this energy is probably way less linear. And this is the journey you're about to embark. Once you let go of the bullshit story of what you're telling yourself who you need to be. Yeah. So this is what I'm getting here, letting go, like cutting through the bullshit stories around identifications, because you can redefine yourself at any given moment. And so if you want to see like the minor arcana, every suit, there's kind of a certain journey throughout the whole suit. So if you want to see the king at the beginning of the suit, it means to let go of certainty to become curious. So the bullshit story might be that you're attached to the stories as they are, that you're attached to your identifications, because then at least you know what's going on. While once you leave behind this former identity that you so carefully built, you might not know who actually lies under it. So there's this development of rediscovering who you actually are and encounter a deeper version of yourself that lies beyond the mental. So this is what I'm getting. And I love that. So this is the Knight of Cups. And this might be the development that you're doing here. So again, we have the water element in this pile. And so it's like this mutation from a very rational person to a person who is now encountering their feelings in a curious way. So you embark on this journey to finding out what lies beneath what you thought you would be. Like there was this mental construction about who you thought you were, and now you're invited to jump on a horse and explore. And night energy is always around. There's even a certain social responsibility, not as intense as with the night, which might be connected to the identity you kind of established, that you needed to be this person in order to create stability for your surroundings and stuff like that. And now, so this was some social responsibility with the prior identification. The night is more the social responsibility of the night is actually, and I feel a lot of support for you here. The night energy is that the social responsibility is kind of to make the move. So you have, you're called on this journey here. You're called on this is the grail energy somehow. So you're called to take that adventure. You are called to embark on that journey of finding out who you truly are, or who lies underneath this carefully established identity. And the support that you have here is that actually this is called for right now. You don't need to be this very controlled person anymore in order for your surroundings to feel safe, and in order for everybody to kind of be able to lean on you because you are always cool, calm, collected. You don't need to be this person anymore. And there might be the fear of letting go of this identity because what about the others? And then, what about the others? They are probably even waiting for you to take this adventure and to find out new stuff and bring that back home. So the story of the hero is always that he, at some point, turns back home to bring what he learned and what he found. See what archetype comes in here. Okay, Aletheia. That's a very abstract one, I feel. But again, it's connected, I feel, to the Knight of Cups energy because it has to do with a deeper wisdom. And it feels that the deeper wisdom is coming through this journey that you embark upon. So the deeper wisdom lies beyond the crafted personality, beyond the crafted identifications. And it's worth it. Cut the bullshit. Cut the identifications. Cut the role you have been playing. Cut the role you have established for yourself, and allow yourself to discover even more. Because this is what leads to abundance. And I feel this again is connected to the night energy, that the adventure of the grail is actually there to make you feel more rich within yourself and also your surroundings. You are going to bring home so much treasure from this adventure. So what's stopping you, I'm asking? The abundance you might encounter might even have to do with soul family. So interesting. I love that so much, because this person, the cool, calm, collected one who played their role all the time, the time for this identification is over. Because what happened is, look at that throne of stone, which kind of cuts you off. Like there are trees, but you're on this stone throne, and it's kind of like closed off. So by crafting a personality that's not truly who is underneath, you're also cutting yourself off from the people that would feel way more they would feel way more soft to the heart, actually. And I feel like the dynamic here with the whales and the dolphins is kind of similar to this energy in what's going on over here. So it's worth it to to move beyond the fear of what happens if you let go of this personality. Because right now you're connected to people who are connected to this illusion of you, this identification version of you. And once you move to this adventure and get closer to another, a deeper layer of who you are, you'll end up with your soul family. And this is a form of abundance. I'm talking from experience here. If you're watching this, love goes out. Oh, I love that. So this, again, it's German, but I'm going to translate it. It's connection. And this is so much connected to the soul family. So the shedding of the skins, the shedding of the personality that's going on here, the deeper wisdom you will find it in connection. And even right now, it might already have begun. So this card also says, call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. So if this adventure feels scary, bring along the energies that are already around you, connect with the abundance that is already around you. And then this will give you more motivation and more resources for this adventure. And this is another element. It's fire. And I feel like this might be also part of because I feel like the fear here, shedding skin, shedding personality, shedding identification is always kind of wild, intense, and probably very, very, very scary. So the fire energy I'm feeling here, and you could even imagine this to be a sort of a fire. So a fire is warm. The connection with your soul family feels warm. And also maybe this very dry identification that you've been holding on to, it might kind of lack fire. So it might have built like it's this shape and form and you are physically there, but you don't really feel there. You're not like really connected. So like this energy is very mental. It doesn't really allow to enter the feeling. And fire could be that during this reading there was a spark of curiosity. There was, okay, so family really sounds nice. Connection really sounds nice. Abundance and wisdom, it sounds nice. So probably there has been a little spark that will help you move and start moving, like not in terms of you need to do something, but to kind of find that spark of vitality within yourself again. And then we have the full moon in Cancer as an astrological energy that comes in. So Cancer is, I feel like this is soul family. So I feel like you are called, and Cancer is water energy as well. So it's connected to this one as well. So I love that synchronicity here. It feels as if you're, like it says, the personal issue reaches resolution. So by allowing yourself to be more than you previously thought you were, or the picture you painted of yourself, you are now invited to be done with this personality. It has served its purpose. It has built the stability. Cancer always also loves stability. You can imagine like the home for the Cancer being. It's like, yeah. So the stability has been created. It's resolved now, and you are ready to move on that basis of the stability that you built. And again, we had the rebirth, and here we have the resurrection. So I feel like there's this new version of you that's about to become alive. Yeah, there's a lot of aliveness with the fire, with the warmth, with the soul family, with the connection. So it's gonna be an interesting journey. And again, also for you, pile blue, pile water. Please feel free. It's like probably it's a deepening of this skill of feeling. So I invite you to really feel right now what has been stirred within you during this reading, which messages came in and moved something within you, and really dive into this adventure of letting yourself be touched, letting yourself feel. You have built the stability so that now it is safe for you to go deeper. I wish you all the best. Enjoy the journey, the adventure, and make sure to bring back from your hero's journey what your soul family is already waiting to receive from you. Sending you lots of love, and that's it for the Cut the Bullshit reading.